I breached.
I always do that. I'm a night rider.
Okay,
Every time that I go up past midnight, I swear I get higher.
we're back
Swear I gotta get higher now.
again.
I'm a night rider. Every time that I give what I gotta supply that fire.
Shouldn't be a surprise by now. I'm always back.
I'm a night rider.
I'm always back and I'm always on time. So when am I really returning from? Yes, welcome. This is Bookmarks with Bump, the social commentary podcast where I, Sean Bump, Patrick Cote, go over all things, period. I'll end it at that. I'm not going over the range of topics. They span way too far. I have dozens and dozens, if not hundreds and hundreds of threads bookmarked on Twitter that I just never found myself having the time to go through, so I decided what better time than with a microphone in front of my face, especially right now. This is the 10th episode, the inaugural 10th episode. I had my inaugural episode 10 episodes ago, and now I'm having another inaugural episode. This is making absolutely no sense, but that's the sense that it makes. That's what I do here. I make no sense and make sense all at the same time and figure out what sounds good. Isn't that just what a podcast is anyway? I know this because I am officially a podcaster. I have my 10th podcast. In the realm of the most miserable of podcasts, you can call that the solo podcast realm. There is nothing more difficult than having a conversation for 30 minutes to an hour with nobody at all but yourself. That's why I referred to the threads. That's what made the amazing idea so amazing, was that it wasn't just going to be me on a microphone rambling. It was going to be me going over topics and spitballing whatever those topics make me think of. And now here I am, 10 episodes deep, and I am banking episodes, which is also what makes me a podcaster. Over the course of these last few weeks, this now being August 18th, I would be one busy boy. I have goals on one hand and fun on the other, and I'm balancing all these things all at once. 2 days ago, I'm going to talk about this as if I'm talking to you on August 18th, but 2 days ago, I went and saw Shane Gillis live at Mohegan Sun, an awesome birthday gift that my little brother got me. Him and I will be going to the Mohegan Sun to watch the Shane Gillis. So if you want to get an idea on what my comedy taste is like, he's probably my favorite right now. Him, Mark Normand, Joe List, just to name a few. David Tell's special that came out this summer was awesome. Hot Cross Buns. I suggest you peep it. But yeah, I'm banking episodes because I have a race on August 11th, which, I ran so fast in that race. Oh, it's unbelievable how fast I ran. I saw myself run and I said, wow, I've never run this fast. But next week's episode, you'll hear more about everything that I've gone through the last couple weeks here rounding out August. I mean, we are in the thick of summer. It is thick. It is humid. It is rainy today, which is why I'm deciding to record a couple podcasts, get them all trimmed up and ready to be put up. And that way I could just enjoy whatever is coming up next. I've been working a bit of overtime lately, and that really takes up a lot of time. The editing takes up a bit of time, too. I mean, you look at how long the episode is, you got to think, while I'm sitting down and going over that, it's 3 to 4 times longer. So by the time you listen to the episode once, I've listened to it enough to never want to hear my voice again. And so with the overtime and all that going on, I've just kind of, I'm not going to complain about working overtime. I love it. Who doesn't love more money? I'll tell you who really loves more money. That's the NBA. A couple weeks ago, it was reported by ESPN that the NBA has agreed to terms on a record-setting media deal, an 11-year agreement worth $76 billion. That is an enormous amount of money. This $76 billion would assure player salaries will continue to rise for the foreseeable future. And we just saw Jason Tatum sign a $350 million contract. This is incredible. When you think about money and you think about how much you have, how much you make a week, how much you make a year, and then you see the headlines, it's something that really shakes you to your core. The NBA and the NFL, I think the only time we hear of more money is when the government is spending money. This is a monumental amount of cash. I look at this contract and then I look at players' contracts and I can see now a little bit how players decide they want to hold out, and it's not just all for the love of sport being the reason why they play. I mean, I would go out there and I would play in the NBA for $100,000 a year. I don't care. But that's because I've never done it before. The unfortunate part about this deal being done is that it does not include Turner or TNT. And the Inside the NBA show will be no more. I'll be excited to see if Ernie, Shaq, Kenny, and Chuck get another job with another broadcasting platform. That way we could still see their faces when it comes to NBA games, because I believe they just drive so much of the coverage. The NBA regular season doesn't get as much hype as the NFL does, and that's just fact. The NFL holds records for the most watched things on television. I mean, it's between the Super Bowls and the regular season games. The regular season numbers are just out of this world, and every other sport is trying to catch up and compete. To look at where we're at now, though, with the NBA and the command they have over the broadcasting networks is crazy. Because if you look back, the NBA Finals used to be taped and put out over syndication later, once who the champion was already told. It's wild to see how vastly popular they've grown over time. $76 billion contract. That is just out of this world and a sign of changing times. And perhaps that's the internet. The NBA is a big internet league. They're driven by Twitter and Instagram clips. Those clips perform so well on social media. The changing times, the internet, makes me roll into this next thread that I found and thought was pretty... I thought this was a pretty interesting thread to bring up, because I remember reading or watching videos of this a long, long time ago, but it highlights the Cicada 3301 that was brought up on 4chan a dozen years ago. So we're going to go over this thread and really dive into what was Cicada 3301. January 4th, 2012. A cryptic image posted on 4chan by user 3301 with a hidden message. Hello. We are looking for highly intelligent individuals. To find them, we have devised a test. Welcome to Cicada 3301, the greatest and most mysterious puzzles on the internet. Within minutes, a hidden string of text was discovered in an image file. It led to another image with a cipher that, once solved, pointed to a subreddit. There, clues about an 18th century book called The Lady of Fountain were found. By combining a code from the subreddit with The Lady of the Fountain, a phone number was revealed. Those who called it heard this haunting recorded message. Very good. You have done well. There are 3 prime numbers associated with the original final JPG image. 3301 is one of them. You will have to find the other 2. As the word spread, thousands of armchair detectives joined forces to unravel Cicada's clues. Using steganography tools like Outguess, they extracted hidden information from the images. Theories emerged. Was Cicada 3301 a secret society? A government agency? A recruitment test for elite hackers? Let's dive deeper. Across 14 locations in 5 countries, Cicada left physical clues in the form of QR codes. Dedicated participants like Marcus Wanner, a computer analyst from Brussels, traveled to these coordinates to scan the codes and uncover the next piece of the puzzle. But then the trail went cold. Only a select group of first arrivals to a secret website were accepted into a final, private stage of the challenge. The site closed with an ominous message. We want the best, not the followers. Finalists were warned not to collaborate or share details. Exactly 1 year later, on January 5th, 2013, Cicada 3301 returned with a new puzzle. A cryptic recording titled The Instar Emergence offered tantalizing hints about their purpose. We are the Cicada. We are not part of the Cicada you think you know. Our work is secret, but our purpose is not. 2014 saw the arrival of Liber Primus, a mystery book filled with encrypted runes that seemed to contain Cicada's manifesto and philosophy. It was like a Bible written by H.P. Lovecraft, said one participant. To this day, many of its 74 pages remain undeciphered, despite effort from thousands worldwide over years. Who is behind Cicada 3301, and what do they want? Leaked emails from alleged winners like Marcus Wanner suggest a group of privacy advocates developing a secure software. It seems there are a small group of around 20 people who share common ideas about security, privacy, and censorship, Wanner claimed in a 2015 interview. After the Liber Primus puzzle in 2014, Cicada seemed to go quiet. In 2016, they posted a message urging re-examination of the book. Then, on April 13, 2017, came their last known communication, an eerie PGP-signed warning against disinformation. Theories still swirl, but hard facts remain elusive. Cicada 3301 stands as a testament to the power of collective intelligence and the allure of a good mystery. It's a battle of wits, Wayner reflected, a game where you don't know the rules, the players, or the prize. Beyond mere puzzles, it raises questions about privacy, secrecy, and the nature of power in the digital age. Will we ever know the truth behind Cicada 3301? Perhaps the beauty is the difficulty. What are your theories about Cicada 3301? Share them in the comments. It's also left here with a very cryptic message, which is interesting because that's like a lot of what these posts were cryptic messages with very vague clues that, hey, you got to be a genius to figure this out, right? And that's what they were looking for. This one here says, hello, epiphany is upon you. Your pilgrimage has begun. Enlightenment awaits. Good luck. Something like that says so much and says nothing at all. You know, that's a parable. That's the way that Jesus spoke. Jesus spoke in parables, and he only answered 9 questions in his time of living. This here is a very powerful statement. Epiphany is upon you. Boom, your life is about to change with this thought. Your pilgrimage has begun. This is your purpose, and this is what you will do moving forward. Enlightenment awaits. The ultimate promise at the end of the mission. The enlightenment. What are we being enlightened on? It's very curious. What these people, so say there are winners, right? Like Marcus Wayner, one of the guys who spoke out, but really didn't really say a whole lot. The ability to keep the secrecy is so, I don't know, that draws me in. That is the draw of a good mystery that they talk about. What was their mission? Are they really trying to develop a secure software? What is the software for? Are these the people who made CrowdStrike? The world doesn't know yet, and the world may never know, and that's just kind of what the internet can bring you, right? That's the beauty of the internet. It could have been nothing at all, too. Think about this. This is what the internet is, right? It could have just been trolls, and they sent all of these people who thought they were Sherlock Holmes on a wild goose chase just to, send them a gif of a middle finger at the end. Now, that'd be something. The middle finger is quite the display of rudeness. It's antagonizing. And the middle finger of your foot is plantar fasciitis. Now, I've dealt with some plantar fasciitis before through my many, many days of running now. Now that I'm a seasoned runner of 5 years, just competed in another 5-mile race a couple weeks ago. Ask me about it. I saw this thread by a man who goes by Reed Strength. I think that's his business name. So shout out Reed Strength. It's a bit about plantar fasciitis, so let's go through this thread and see what we can learn. It seems like every middle-aged person I know either has foot pain right now or has recently experienced it. I used to think my plantar fasciitis would never go away, but I was wrong. I fixed my feet with a simple exercise you may have not tried yet. Hint: it wasn't ice, rest, orthotics, stretching, compression sleeves, acupuncture, or cortisone shots, although he tried all those too. The thread goes on to say, let me explain. After much trial and error, and lots of money spent on new shoes, inserts, night sleeves, and other gadgets, he finally learned the simple truth. His soleus muscles were weak. The soleus is a deep calf muscle, located below the more visible gastrocnemius. When healthy, it is one of the strongest muscles in the body. To prioritize it, you need to perform calf raises with your knees bent. There are 3 ATG exercise options I use to do so. The first and best is the seated calf machine. If you have one, use it. But if you don't have access to a seated calf machine yet, read on for 2 alternatives. You can make a makeshift seated calf raise by putting a heavy dumbbell or kettlebell on your knees as shown. And so what you do is prop something underneath your toes, and you use that as a bit of an angle block. You leave the kettlebell or the dumbbell on your knee, and you raise as such. Lastly, if you don't have weights, use the ATG bodyweight move instead. You lean against the wall and bend your knees forward until they are positioned over your toes. Keep your knees locked in that position, and perform calf raises as shown. For more challenge, use the single leg version. For all 3 of these, machine, dumbbell, and bodyweight, use 2 to 3 sets of 15 to 20 reps. Pause at the top, count to 3 on the way down, and get a full stretch at the bottom. That's it, and he hopes it helps. Remember, when in doubt, get stronger. Great advice. When in doubt, get stronger. A lot of times I've had nagging little issues that I've had to use targeted workouts to strengthen the muscles that I'm using. I'm a runner, so I use my legs a lot. I do 2 leg days a week. That's not just aesthetics. Not really any of weightlifting to me is aesthetics. There's a lot of functional strength that goes into the way that I build my workouts, and a lot of that is directed around running and being able to propel myself faster than the person next to me. Now, am I the fastest man in the world? No. I didn't give myself much of a head start there, but I'm working towards it. And I look at runners and I look at the demographic of the best runners, and I'm kind of just coming into form here. My early 30s to mid 30s are going to be the best years that I'll ever have when it comes to running. That's not just because of the time that I've put into it. Building endurance doesn't happen just like that. It's cyclical. It's because of the different methods and techniques that I'll take towards getting myself stronger and faster, preparing for a race. This year, leading up into my race, I did a lot more hill sprints, and I did a lot more hill sprints, and I focused a lot on my posterior chain. And one of the biggest ways I did that was with seated calf raises. It is an extremely beneficial exercise to do. If you're dealing with an injury in an area that's not really an injury, but just sort of a nagging pain or a hang-up, there's odds that you have a muscular imbalance. And you don't cure a muscular imbalance through rest. You cure by building the muscles around it, helping you regain control of those muscles. And by regaining control of your body, that's one way to help regain control of your life, which is what the next thread is. The average man today lacks purpose. Modern life breeds men who fall victim to cheap dopamine, cheap food, and superficial pleasures. Here are 7 ways to reject average and regain control of your life. 1. Do difficult things. Modern life breeds soft minds. Embrace the discomfort. Sign up for a race. Hello. Shower daily with cold water. Or period. Commit to exercising daily. The only way to develop a strong mind is by doing strong things and avoiding strong odors. Avoiding strong odors was not in the thread. That's just a tag that I threw on there. So don't get mad at the better path. Get mad at me. The thread goes on with 2, disconnect from technology. Now, this is not good for business. It is impossible to be present with our families and friends when we are plugged in. Turn off the television, use airplane mode, and leave the phone at home. This way, we can reconnect with those who mean the most to us. 3, find constructive hobbies. You can enjoy life without destroying your brain and body. Join a gym, start a business, go for a walk with friends and family. Changing negative hobbies for positive ones will change your life. 4. Limit exposure to negativity. Politics, the news, and the media bombard us with everything that is wrong in the world. Turn off the news. Stop following politics. Be grateful for the present. Afterwards, everyday life can be wonderful. 5. Spend less time indoors. Before we spent our days in the sun. Now we spend them inside, in front of screens. Disconnect, spend time in nature, and prioritize sunlight over screens. It will do wonders for your physical and mental health. Before I even move on with this thread, I gotta say this might be one of the most insightful threads and relatable threads for me. A lot of this is exactly how I regained control of my life. This was a big topic for me, and this is exactly why I wanted to talk about this. I knew I would have a lot of passion behind it. Regaining control of my life is exactly what I did from the day I turned 25 onwards. And it took that time to really become the man that I am today. I was in a place where I felt like I was controlled. Everything that I had to do was kind of dictated by what I like to call an adult babysitter. Some people might know those as probation officers. But regardless of how I got there or what it was all part of what makes me me today. I needed to find what I had control over, and the number one thing was my health. And how did I change that? And that was by doing things that I was uncomfortable with, like working out. I did not love working out as much as I do now. I used to just do push-ups and sit-ups in between quarters of a video game. I was playing NBA 2K every single day after work because all I thought I needed to do as a man was work and be happy with that. You know, I found purpose in exercising, and I found purpose in what those effects were on the rest of my life as far as it comes to my mental health and the way my mental health, my outlook on life, the way that I felt, the happiness that I had inside of me. Like, I used to be somebody who was diagnosed with depression, and And then little do you know, the more I worked on myself, the happier I was with life. It wasn't just me I was happy with. I was happy with everything around me. I don't listen to a lot of new music today. I listen to a lot of podcasts because it's like having a conversation. It's like, I love to learn new things. And the only way you're going to learn is by listening. And so I listen to these podcasts. I soak up information that I deem valuable, and I discard information that I deem negative. I'm huge on the power of positivity, and I hate when negative things enter my life. Hate is even a negative thing to say, but it's passionate. It's proper when it's passionate. That's one thing that I remind myself. And so if I do say that I hate something, it's because it's bad. It's truly bad for you. And I don't find time or space for anything bad in my life. And if it pops up, I eradicate it as quickly as I possibly can. Disconnecting from technology is huge. Leave the phone at home so you can reconnect with those who mean the most to us. I love that about my relationship with my girlfriend. We don't just sit around and scroll. We always find an activity to do, and we don't even have to pay for it. A lot of the times we find enjoyment in just being outside, which is another huge part of this is, you go outside, you enjoy what nature has. It makes you a lot more grateful for life. When you're outside and finding beauty in what the world is, you kind of forget about all of the things they shove down your throat on the TV, the war, the violence, the murder, the hate. You forget about it because you go outside and you go, how could there be that cloud of negativity in such a beautiful place? We find time kayaking or hiking, and we enjoy that just as much as we enjoy going to the movies or going out to eat. I'm truly grateful for that quality of my relationship. We're not dictated by technology, by the trends, or by what anybody says. We're our own people, and I think we love that about us the most. I'll continue on with number 6. Avoid processed foods. Big food companies have hacked our brains and gotten us addicted to chemicals. Avoid seed oils. It's like every episode now. Avoid refined sugars and avoid packaged foods. Big food companies have hacked our brains because our gut health is very relative to our mental health. I cleaned up my diet a lot. And by doing that, I don't know if it was the working out or the feeling empowered by the things that I was surprising myself with what I could do, or if it was the food, but something cracked and made me not feel bad about life anymore. Number 7, have fun without alcohol. Society has programmed us to think that we need drugs and alcohol to have fun. Some things require sobriety. Go to an excursion, do sport, play with the kids. A life filled with these activities has meaning and purpose. 7 ways to reject average and live a meaningful life, synopsized, are to do difficult things, avoid processed foods, spend less time at home, have fun without alcohol, find constructive hobbies, limit exposure to negativity, and disconnect from technology. And I think if the whole world could manage to do that and move on without completely crumbling inside itself, because it does seem that technology is a huge requirement in today's day and age in order to do most of anything. My health insurance is dictated through an app on my phone. The food I log when I'm logging food is dictated through an app on my phone. The measurements of my exercises are done on my phone. It seems like almost every daily function that I need to survive is done in one way or another through my phone. And, that's okay, because that's a tool. Think of that, though. Remind yourself that your phone is a tool. Much like when you're at work using a wrench, that wrench is a tool, and if it's used properly, it will help you get the job done. If it's not used properly, you set yourself up for potential to get hurt. And by soaking in all of the negativity, even if you don't really agree with it or subscribe to it, subconsciously it does have an effect on you. If you watch videos of terrible things happening, you'll start to feel terrible about life. I think a big little tactic they did to us when we were younger, I remember in the elementary schools when I was growing up, when 9/11 happened, they wheeled the TV right into the classroom and made all the little kiddies watch it. What type of mental experiment was that? Just a little question I asked that you might make me out to be a conspiracy theorist about it, but hey, it's just a little question that I ask. I mean, there's no harm in asking a question, right? How else are we going to learn from asking questions and listening? That's a great thread, and I think everybody has the potential to do it, and that's the thing that makes it great. Everybody can do something that challenges them. Just because I run in races, because that's what challenges me, doesn't mean that's what you have to do. Maybe it's an art project. Maybe you're a creative person and you just have an idea that you can't draw a specific thing. Well, try it. Try it. What's the worst that could happen? You fail. You don't do it the way you want to. Maybe you stumble across another happy accident like our friend Bob Ross would. You have to remind yourself of how capable you are of anything when it comes to life. Like, you're going to be told time and time again that you can't do things. And I talked about this last episode. Sometimes we have these ideas, we talk through them with other people, and it makes us lose our belief. Well, if you really want to regain control in your life, you have to believe in yourself. And if you have to remind yourself of that, go ahead and remind yourself. It's okay. And it's okay to have these talks with yourself every day. It's okay to have some positive talks with yourself. It's okay to check in and go, I'm feeling like this here. What do I need to change? There's nothing that's not manly or tough. There's nothing that's not strong about that. In my opinion, that's one of the strongest things that you can do as a person, is check in with yourself, hold yourself accountable, and make the changes you need to make yourself successful. So if we're going to check in with ourselves, maybe we need some of that positive self-talk. Let's do some positive daily affirmations. And this isn't the first time I've done this, and it most certainly won't be the last, but if I can give you a list of things that you might want to remind yourself daily, let's go over a little list here. And as always, it will be documented in the description, all of the threads. If you want to go through and read for yourself, you can spot check and see any words that I missed or words that I added. That way you can kind of see what's my dictation of what I'm reading and what's actually on there. Who knows? Maybe I'm changing the script of it as we go through them. But I'm not. And we'll go over this list of daily affirmations. These are the daily affirmations that are laid out on the Zig Ziglar self-talk card. I did not highlight Zig Ziglar in last week's episode, so I have no idea who this guy is, but let's see what he has to tell us about ourselves. Step 1. For 30 days, first thing in the morning and last thing at night, by yourself in front of a mirror, stand up straight. Square your shoulders, look yourself in the eye, and quietly, firmly say in the first person, present tense, I, insert name here, am a person of integrity, with a good attitude and specific goals. I have a high energy level. I'm enthusiastic and take pride in my appearance and what I do. I have a sense of humor, lots of faith, wisdom, and the vision, empathy, and courage to use my talents effectively. I have character, and I am knowledgeable. My convictions are strong, and I have a healthy self-image, a passion for what is right, and a solid hope for the future. I am honest, sincere, and a hard-working person. I am tough but fair and sensitive. I am disciplined, motivated, and focused. I am a good listener and patient, but take decisive action. I am bold and confident, yet humble. I am an encourager, a good finder, and a forgiving person. I am a student, a teacher, and a self-starter. I am obedient, loyal, responsible, and dependable. I have a servant's heart, am ambitious, and a team player. I'm intelligent, competent, persistent, and creative. I am health conscious, balanced, and clean. I am flexible, punctual, and thrifty. I'm an honorable person who is truly grateful for the opportunity life has given me. These are the qualities of a winner I was born to be. These are the qualities of the winner I was born to be, and I fully intend to develop these marvelous qualities with which I have been entrusted. Tonight, I am going to sleep wonderfully well, and I will dream powerful, positive dreams. I will awaken energized and refreshed, and tomorrow is going to be magnificent. Step 2. Repeat the process the next morning, and close by saying, these are the qualities of the winner I was born to be. Today is the first day of the rest of my life, and it is wonderful. Well, really shout out to Zig Ziglar for going hand in hand with my last topic. That was if I do say so myself, that was a great structure by me, so I'll give myself a pat on the back for that. But these are the qualities of a winner. You know, and these are things that, it's not like the first time that I've read things like this. These are the kinds of things that would pop up in my algorithm or pop up in my feeds when I started to make changes in my life and talk to people about them, you know? A lot of things in life don't just happen. You have to will them and believe them into existence. This is all based on the belief that you have in yourself. the belief that you have in the environment you're forming around you, and belief in reality. Like, this is reality. This is where I am. This is what I've done, and this is what I'm doing to change. There's accountability in here. Accountability is huge when it comes to taking action. What is it that I need to change? What is it that I need that's going to give me the tools for success moving forward in my life? The only way to do that is to sit down and really assess what your situation is. Truly, without a bias, look at yourself as yourself and remove your emotions from it for 1 second. Think about the things that you're doing wrong. Think about the things that you're doing right. Highlight both things. Because as many things as you mess up, you do succeed in. And if you can succeed somewhere, you can succeed anywhere. Because how you do anything is how you do everything. And with that, I'm out of here. As always, like, rate, subscribe on all the platforms that you're enjoying this wonderful podcast on. I appreciate all the love and support I've gotten over the last 10 weeks. It's been amazing to make it to this point is an understatement, but to feel like I'm thriving on these episodes has really been a joy. I think that I've been saying a lot of poignant things, and it's not just me thinking that, because you could think you're doing great, but I've taken accountability from it, and I've listened to what people have had to say, and I hear nothing but great things, and I really do appreciate everybody who takes the time to sit down with me and listen to me ramble for a bit. You can find me on Twitter at BumpyBetSlips. Email me at bookmarkswbump@gmail.com. Next week's episode will be jam-packed with updates regarding the end of the Olympics. I recorded this while Scotty Scheffler was celebrating his gold medal, crying on the green while they were playing the national anthem. I mean, it's amazing the year that Scotty Scheffler is having, and if you think you can't regain control of your life, and if you think you can't be a winner, Scotty Scheffler just won a gold medal, fresh off of time in jail during the Players' Championship in Kentucky this year. So anything is possible, man. And remind yourself that. Until then, I'll see you guys next week. It's all love. God bless.
I'm an air rider. Every time that I give what I got, I supply that fire. I supply that fire, man.